Welcome back to the Classic Quest podcast. I haven't done this in so long.
It has been a hot minute.
Intro is like fucked right now. This is episode 120 of the Classic Quest podcast reviews. We are doing Iggy Azalea's classic. Jesus, I just
the new classic,
right?
Deluxe edition.
And that is what we're going to be doing for this review. Okay, I can't really do this right now. I'm panicking for some reason.
Why? You're
I don't
great.
know. It's been a while. I'm back.
Been a while.
I'm Chris Chrome.
I am your lady friend Bonnie.
And like I said, this is the Classic Quest podcast. For what we do here, from what I remember, is the same thing like Headspace. We go through track by track. We give you what we feel, how we interpret the songs, our opinions, and kind of how we just vibe to it.
General review, basically.
Right. And I think it's because it's episode 120, we do a woman every time.
Ladies' night.
Right. So that's something that they kept going for a while now. It is Holden's birthday, so he's not here doing it. So I stepped in and replaced it.
He just wanted to play video games, and I was like, cool, that's fine. I will take care of Iggy.
I mean, I'm slightly jealous. He's been playing Outer Worlds lately, and I really want to play the game. So
I've just been listening to Iggy and enjoying it and bouncing with my knees. It's all in the knees, folks.
Well, at least one of us has enjoyed this album, but we'll definitely get into it. I do want to also say thank you to the Patreons, really so much for following us and supporting us on what we do. They helped us get the camera. They helped us change up the set a little bit. That is Linda Williams, Chris Prado, DJ Black Hurricane, Coney Sparks, Jonathan Barnes, and Ismail Gadamsi. Thank you so much for that. I'll definitely touch upon that at the end of the episode. This is a pretty long album. Just to contextualize where we know Iggy from, I know Iggy when she came out with Fancy back in 2014. It was like the biggest song. I kind of bumped it a little bit. I really like Charli XCX. That was like the reason why I enjoyed that song personally, just because I felt she had a better flow type of just voice to it. But I was really impressed with what Iggy could do as like the female rapper and all that. And then I slightly fell off just because, I don't know, I never really got into the whole bandwagon of things in a sense. I just kind of liked her stuff, and whenever she'd play on like MTV or whatnot, you know, listen on the radio, okay, that's cool, I see where she's going, but it wasn't really my vibe. This is the first time I sit down and listen to a full Iggy project. I'm not gonna say I don't know what she does, I don't know what she's about. I mean, it's kind of straightforward from a lot of the music she puts out. And yeah, where do you know Iggy from?
I mean, for those of you who've been around this channel for a long time, I feel like you know that I have a very special place in my heart for Iggy, and I was just really excited to review this. For one more time, I'll say it again, Iggy Azalea's, this is the new classic review. This is the Deluxe edition, which came out April 21st, 2014. Like I said, so I've known her, I mean, since she's kind of started popping. I think the first song of hers that I got into was Fancy as well. Like that's really like what blew up, and like with like the music video, like the Clueless inspiration or whatever, like very, like it just worked. Same thing for like Black Widow work. Like I was on that bandwagon that you may not have gotten on. I was definitely there. So I mean, I've pretty much been following her career since. I mean, like in terms of like what I know about her, I really only know like what I see on Instagram. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I don't really follow like too much like of her drama and stuff like that, the things that she's involved with. I'm just like, okay, if she posts a picture of it, I'm like, cool, that's your butt. Nice.
I feel like that's why I kind of fell off a little bit, was just, it was cool when she came out like that, and I was like, oh, all right, she's like the new hot chick on the block, and it was really dope.
But she was the hot chick. I mean, for like the ladies that don't have a giant butt and all the, you know, other parts, I mean, she was hot before, like when she didn't really have too much. And like, you know, now that she's like extra enhanced,
modification,
you know,
upgrade.
like there, I mean, I think she's been I don't know how long she's been going through with plastic surgeries, but they, you know, it's been one after the other after another, and it's just like, it's always like more extreme. And I did see her live a few years ago, maybe around like 2015-ish or so. And I mean, she doesn't really perform so much on stage. Like she just, like she had on like pants that looked like they were like melted onto her. And like I don't think she could bend her legs in these pants. And she was on like a staircase, and she basically just sat at the top of the staircase for like a good majority of like her performance. And then everybody else was just kind of like dancing around there, and she was just kind of like, I can't bend my legs, I'm like Barbie.
Oh my god, I think that's
but it was still so much fun.
I think that's where I'm trying to get at, is like I never really saw her, and this, okay, so let's just say I don't really, just to kind of get it out of the way, this is going to be a very hard review for me in a sense, because I don't like Iggy. Like, I don't really think that she is all what she seems to think she is, and I don't really think that, like, just like what you said, right? She just kind of stands there and goes, I'm king shit, I'm really popular, and y'all love me.
To be fair, that's also what Rihanna does.
But Rihanna can't
dance.
Move.
Rihanna can't dance. She
can
doesn't dance in any of her music videos. I've seen her do her thing live.
She doesn't have to. But Rihanna...
She never really did.
SOS has her dancing. Ponder Replay has her dancing and all the music, like actually dancing.
Okay, I don't remember. Would have to go back and watch that one.
I'm telling you, Rihanna can dance. Like, Beyonce can dance.
Of course.
Nicki dances.
Yeah.
Ariana. All of the female artists are like somewhat dancing in some way, and Iggy just kind of stands there.
She's looking hot shit. That's all she has to do.
I don't know. I don't think she's that. But we'll definitely get into the album with that, and I can explain further and not look like I'm just talking shit. I apologize.
Yeah. So what do you think of the cover?
With the cover, I think it's really simple. I like the whole like Miami Vice look to it, like kind of really old school. Just you look at the house, and it doesn't, like, even the house kind of has this again, like GTA Miami Vice drug dealing type feel. Like,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Right, and then you look at her outfit, and it's like super retro-y, but like modern, artistic, like abstract in a way, and it really kind of catches your eye because all the color clashing really in a way fits together, but at the same time also peeks out in different spots, so you're really kind of looking at it. It's not something that I think it's something I'll remember just because it's like the first Iggy project I reviewed, but I think that after you go through different projects, you may not actually remember this album cover. For the name, I think it's a bold statement. You're claiming already that your first project is going to be a classic, that it's the new classic. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, she's a bold lady. I mean, she makes bold statements,
which I can respect, but I don't know if you have the credibility or at least the upcoming content.
But like, imagine she's like, this is like her debut album. This is like the first one that comes out, and she's like, fuck it, like, I'm gonna be the best. Like, this is going to be a classic. Like,
but nobody did, and I think that's what I'm trying to say. And I know that it's stupid to say that nobody did that, but I feel like that's part of like a thing, right? Like, legendary rappers, like, okay, I'm gonna be a shit, but like Nas came out and his first thing was Illmatic. Like, it wasn't defining that it was a classic. We all chose it was a classic. You know what I mean? Like, we had to listen to it.
But he also, I mean, even the name Illmatic was like I think it was symbolic of like him being like, this is hot shit.
Absolutely. But I don't feel like he was defining, like Biggie's Ready to Die or Born to Die. I don't want to fuck up the name, but even that, it didn't have this like, this is a classic. You weren't telling me it was a classic. This, right. I feel like she's automatically out the gate being like, nah, this is the classic. Like, this, no matter what anybody says this is, and I'm sitting here like, I don't know. We might. Not to trash her. I'm not shitting on Iggy. I do respect what she can do, and obviously she's successful and she's made it, and I like don't knock her for anything. But like, I just do have opinions and a lot of shit to say. So
cool. I think this is gonna be like a little bit of like a not a heated one, but I think that it'll be like spitfire-y. Yeah, exactly. Anyways, so for like the cover, I didn't really think about that, but that makes a lot of sense in terms of like the whole like Miami setting. I've been to Australia a couple of times, and so for me, like, a a lot of the houses, especially in like more like rural parts of like the country, a lot of the places are bungalows. A lot of the homes are bungalows. Mostly, I think it's just because they want to be closer to the ground where it's cooler, like in terms of like that sense. So, and there's a lot of space, so it's easy for them to go wider and lower, as opposed to like, you know, in smaller cities and things like that where it's, you know, you want to go bigger and sort of taller, right? So I just in terms of the heat, that's what I'm thinking of in Australia. So I thought maybe she was like in front of like a bungalow in Australia or something. Although the really green grass kind of made me think it was the States because it's just dry as fuck there. So anyways, that was like my thoughts on it. I do really love all the bright colors. She's obviously kind of like girly and kind of exudes this sort of badass bitch. Like right away she's like, I look fly as shit and like I don't care and I'm doing my thing and like whatever. And I really like all the colors. I think it's really great. And yeah, I think that this is, you know, she makes the announcement that this is going to be a new classic. And it's sort of like, I think she's kind of touching on like new money versus old money, I think, as well. Sort of like she's comes from nothing and she's saying like, this is a new classic, this is where I am, like I'm gonna be the best and it's just gonna like it's going to influence everything and people are going to listen to this forever and ever, which is interesting. So anyways, I guess this review is done. She's already said it's a classic. That's it.
I mean, so part of it is also because it's hard for me to kind of look back and be like, remember that this is from 2014 because
it doesn't feel that long ago.
It doesn't feel that long ago, but if I'm not mistaken, she's currently in like this whole legal battle with T.I. right now, who put her on and like is on the album and part of why she's famous.
Right.
So kind of going into this and being like, this is the new classic, I'm hot shit, and then with the lens of 2019, it's like, are you though? Like you're kind of like looking into the past. It's like, in hindsight, maybe you were. Anyway, I'm being an asshole. I'm sorry.
We'll see.
Let's definitely start off with the first track, Walk the Line.
All right.
So how do you feel about the first track introing this album?
I think it's an interesting intro. I guess this is basically her warning that she's like not trying to like scare off anybody. I mean, the first little clip, like it felt a little out of place, but the rest of the song was great. It sounds like hard and intense, both in terms of the beat and like the way that her rhymes are spit. Like she's like coming out hard, and she's basically saying it's difficult to get where she is, but she's here and she did this on her own and nobody else knows like, you know, where, you know, the level that she's at. So nobody can talk shit about her because nobody knows like anything because nobody else is as successful as she is. She's dedicated and she's basically like determined as shit to be like a superstar and to have a lot of money, and she's gonna keep working hard and she's never gonna give up. And I think that that's like, I mean, that's a pretty powerful message to come off with, like, you know, on the first track. Like she's gonna like work her ass off until she, you know, she puts her ass back on. I think this is like a really good intro because it definitely sets like the tone, kind of like she's shedding like her former life and like everything that kind of came before, because she's rising up and like this is where she is, and she's basically letting us know that she's made it, and it was hard work, but she's not going anywhere. So I gave this a 4.75 on 5. I thought this was a pretty great intro. The beat is pretty hype, and she's like, you can feel like she's like gonna keep on climbing, like she's gonna keep on moving up, and it feels also sort of like a reminder to herself, to never give up, and sort of like, you know, word is bond. Like she's saying it in this song. This is the first song. She's starting off her, you know, this is her debut album. This is how she's gonna start it, and she's gonna stick true to the very first thing that she ever said, basically. And she's going to keep living that life, and, you know, it requires her to maintain being successful, so she's going to keep on doing that, and I think it was pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, what do you think?
the way I kind of took the song was, so the intro comes in and it goes, yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do, but we don't want to scare anybody. And I'm kind of like, who the fuck said you're scary? And
yes, it was a little bit weird,
right? Based off the name of the album, like this is the first song on the album supposed to remove me from, and if you guys follow any of the shows, remove me from my bedroom and bring me into the album somewhere else. My first thoughts when this came on in the intro was like, all right, this is like Brother Lynch Hung. This is like Twisted Insane. This is like some type of horror. Like, you're warning me because you're about to say some scary shit. That's not what I get from the album cover, and I'm already kind of confused. My own opinion, right?
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that.
Fair. She comes in, and okay, so I get it. If at like a first time you've never heard her voice, awesome. Like, she's got that punch. She comes in, it's flair, it's nice, and I'm like, ooh, I got you. But I think it's because I've heard her voice and you kind of get used to it, and it's all this stuff that, yes, and I know I shouldn't be doing this, but it's hard. It's hard to go back and listen to somebody that I've been hearing for over the last fucking, 5 years? So
Yep.
I'm just like, okay, it's Iggy. When she comes in, never said it was fair, but I still never knew fear, not in a million years. Could you tell me that I'd be here? I just hop off the leer, my life on another tier. Lifting glasses for cheers, keep that hating out my ear. My country living to country, from country living to country skipping. This would drive you crazy. Check the rate that they pay me. A giant can never slay me. Okay, so where I'm at now is you basically are kind of starting off the album saying, look at where I'm at now. I've popped. This is kind of what we're doing, and I never thought I'd make it this far. Cool, but it doesn't really kind of set me up in any way, really. This kind of just sounds generic. Like, you popped out, you came out of the gate. I never really knew who you were until, like, Fancy showed up. So, yeah, this just makes sense. It wasn't anything so spectacular. I do like how she's kind of addressing and showing you, like, she's, I guess, this country girl type person who comes from that one life, and now she's on a different life, which is cool.
Yep.
I do like that check the rate they pay me, a giant can never slay me. What are they actually paying you? Is what, like, was my question, just because, like, I know that artists don't make a lot of actual money. You have to kind of go into different avenues and different stuff. She was a model, from what I understand, for a magazine, but, like, if that was making you mad cash, you wouldn't have hopped into hip hop unless you were really, like, passionate about it, right?
I feel like hip hop, well, maybe. I feel like hip hop was, like, her main goal, and I think, like, everything that she could do to kind of, like, get there, she did.
Okay, I never...
Like, she still is, like, a model for, like, Shein, or, like, some of those, like, girl clothing, you know, party girl, kind of like websites and stuff like that. So she has, like, or Fashion Nova, she's got, like, a line with, or something like that.
Everybody's got a line with Fashion Nova.
So, I mean, she's involved with, like, that kind of thing, and she's still sort of, like, modeling, and because she still models, I think, for them. But, I mean, I don't think it's her main goal, but it makes her money.
Right. Then we get the hook. Not where I want to be, but I'm far from home. Just trying to make it on my own. And unless destiny calls, I don't answer phones. Which I don't think that's true. You wouldn't be where you are today if you weren't picking up the phone and making deals and, you know, doing your shit. So I get what you're saying, and I might be being a little bit critical, but it's like, I don't know. For the first song to get me out, there, like, I feel like she's just way too cocky. And it's like, I don't know, like...
But I think that's her attitude. I think that's just how she is.
Which is where I think I have the problem with, because, no, your accolades up to that point, and even up to now when I look at it, you're not that bossy of a bitch. Like, Nicki just took over, Cardi, Meg Thee Stallion just took over. Nobody that I know is really listening to Iggy. And I mean,
somebody that you know.
Listen. Listen. Verse 2, kind of the same thing. I like when she says, though, when she starts off and goes, I've been counted out, I've been stepped on, I was wide awake and got slept on, had everything and then lost it, worked my ass off, I'm exhausted. I give her that. Like, yes, I can see how much work you're putting in, and I do give you that credibility. It really does work. Overall, the song kind of flows the same and kind of just validates, or at least her own validation of what she's done and everything like that. I gave it a 4 on 5, though, as much as it sounds like I'm shitting on it. It's a really good song overall. I don't think it's a really good intro. I think it's just a track that just starts the thing. But yeah, the beat production is great. It kind of sets you in this like, all right, we're kind of getting into it, but let me possibly just check what the next song is, and that's kind of how I felt. So I gave it a 4 on 5.
Well, I don't need y'all.
I don't like this song.
No?
No. I don't, and it's weird. I don't like it because it doesn't actually, it kind of doesn't follow up the same type of energy that I got from the last song. As much as, again, like I said, as much as it sounds like I might shit on this album, I did like the last track. I did enjoy how she like took that step of confidence and took all that. But I think my problem is that I've been listening to some music lately where like, it's no longer fuck haters. It's kind of just like, we're not even acknowledging you anymore. We're just continuing on and staying positive and stuff like that. And this kind of just sounds, again, very just generic in terms of like, I don't need y'all hate anyway. Like, really, anybody could have made this song and it didn't really do anything to pop out for me. It didn't have anything that was like encrypted or intricate or like something specific. It just sounds like, God, I might get killed for this. But it honestly, literally going through this project, it's like a lot of women empowerment songs. And it's like, I understand it. I understand, like, you know, if my girlfriend was all like, oh, I'm all mopey today, I don't need anybody, fuck the world, and I'm going to put this on. Like, yeah, I get that. And I think that's part of why I'm a little bit like, because I have other music that relates to me, other thing like.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? But it's good. Like, it is good. I like what she said in verse 3. Go from doubts to having the thought it might work. It goes from up and down, then straight, then it starts again. When I reminisce, sometimes I can't even keep a dry eye. But my, how time flies by when you on top of the world sky high. Now, I really enjoy the word play. I enjoy the syllable play. That was really cool. Yep. She is talented. I'll give her that. She is talented as she can spit some really nice flows. I don't think she has like serious bars. I'm never going to say that. I don't think she has like actual bars. And to be fair, I just came off of West Side Gun with Benny the Butcher and Conway the Machine. So Griselda, do. Yeah, my bad. Like, those guys have bars for days. Okay, so right. Like,
but it's a whole different vibe.
I mean, it is.
Like,
so that's why I'm trying to be like somewhat nice. But again, if you're claiming to be this hot, right? Like, you should at least be able to, because again, I'm going to say it, like, Nicki's got bars.
Right.
So if, like, and what, at the time in 2014, weren't they, like, the running and whatever?
Yeah. I mean, they've had beef, like, I feel like a few times.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, I don't know. Taking that into consideration is kind of like, I look at this and I'm like, you're claiming a lot of hot shit, but you're, anyway, I'm not trying not to be so mean, but I do like what she says in terms of like the paranoia aspect. So when she goes, go from doubts to having the thought of it might work, you're like, fuck this, it's never gonna work, to yeah, we can do it. You bounce back and forth. I think that we can both relate, right? Yeah. With like the podcasting and everything, you know, sometimes some days
in anything, really, it's like if you're not, you know, anything that you try, right, and then you're kind of, you know, maybe not successful or, you know, whatever, it's like you have to like really believe in yourself as well. Right. So it's just that sort of.
So I do like that. And then the whole up and down thing, just kind of feeling like on that roller coaster, was really cool. There are a lot of relatable lines, which I do enjoy. I do like how she starts off the first verse. I remember when it used to be simple, but all this cash, it just complicates things. All this money we into, it will drive you crazy, but it only makes me go harder. Yep. Which, you know what, I think that's like the premise of the whole song still, because she kind of flows through suit and goes the same road. Sometimes fame like a curse locks to my blessings on the road to the riches, turning earth into heaven. Dear Lord, if you hear me, I need not a new friend near me. That's a lie. You do. Because if you never met T.I., you wouldn't be who you are today. Or actually, I guess in 2019, you wouldn't be arguing with him about legal bullshit and whatever. Fine. But realistically, if you never made new friends, you wouldn't really move forward, because you need to meet new people to learn about loss and learn different shit to make the music you make. Like, I don't know, it's like weird things like this that people are like, I don't need a new friend, fuck all these people. And it's like, no, that's not something I think you should be promoting. Like, you can talk about fake friends and shit like that. But
I think there's also a little bit of a difference, because I think that there's a little bit of difference just in terms of having a new friend. Like, if somebody just comes into your life, you may not fully trust them. But I don't think that it's quite what you're saying, because I think that in terms of like T.I., let's use him as an example. I think it's not that he's her friend. He's her like mentor, and basically like kind of like showing her the ropes. Like, he isn't really trying to be her friend. He's trying to promote her, and like he's getting something out of the deal as well.
Which I agree, but I'm saying, like, even at that, so like I come up to you and I give you like a business proposition, right? And you're like, yeah, I'm down. And it's like, okay, cool. We run at this for like 2 years. Within those 2 years, it's like, I'm going to show up one day and have a bad day and talk about it, you know?
Right.
Like, you end up, whether or not your goal is to become a friend, you end up building some type of weird,
it's like
whether platonic,
a business relationship or whatever.
And you still become friends. You still ask each other favors and shit like that. So it's like, call it what you will, but you end up making a connection with that person that ends up kind of simplifying as a new friend. And it wouldn't surprise me if she was like, oh, well, me and Chris Chrome are friends now. Like, some fucking weird dramatic thing, right? But like, literally, like, if we ever met her and it was like, we chilled 3 times and she went, oh, my new friend Chris Chrome. It's like, oh, we're friends now.
I really hope she would say her new friend, her lady friend, Bonnie.
I mean, listen, I think we're fighting for the same thing here.
I'm fighting harder.
Overall, though, I don't know. I like the song sonically, the way it sounds, kind of how it has this like gloomy little pensive feel to it, and it's kind of like, I don't need y'all, I do this on my own, I'm super strong, independent. I get it, I get the mood, I get what it's trying to do for, I guess, like the female listeners and all that stuff, but I left it with a 3.7 on 5, which isn't really that bad.
Okay. I mean, this song was written after Work came out as a single. And how people reacted to her and to that song, and like how like those people who maybe like hated on her and didn't believe in her, and now that she's blown up, they're talking shit, or they're trying to be her friend, or like there's something has changed, and so she's kind of seeing like those people who maybe haven't elevated to her level, now that she's made it, kind of like she's like, this was. Like this song came out after Work. So I think that that's kind of important to mention as well. And how she kind of like, she's made it on her own, so everybody else can just fuck off. I think that's basically what she's saying. And it definitely has like a slower beat. But I like it. It's smooth while still coming off honest and kind of bitchy. And I think with good reason. I think there obviously must have been something that triggered, being like, I don't need y'all, like, there must have been something that happened, and I think it's exactly like the first couple of lines, like she was saying. It's like, like things seemed easy, and then she started making all this money and things got complicated because more money, more problem, right?
But I think that's where, not to cut you off, and I apologize, but I think that's where I'm having the issue, is like, cash rules everything around me. And I know I'm quoting Wu-Tang, and I know it's like, don't quote Wu-Tang with Iggy, don't do that. But it's like, we've had better. I was broke, y'all were there. Oh, I was broke, y'all didn't believe in me. I got rich, y'all want me. Music. We've gotten just better things, whether it's classic or new. We've just gotten better songs.
Or whether it's the new classic.
Right. Oh, my God. I walked into that one. All right, moving on.
Let me just think what else. Okay, so I think in like sort of like the ending part of the song, she's kind of like like referring more to the critics as well and how like they've changed. And I think she touches on like the issues with critics a couple of times. And I don't know if she's necessarily always like meaning like the paparazzi or like, you know, people who are giving her grades, kind of like us, or if she's just talking about like haters, like people who just don't like her stuff, sort of like him. But I don't really think you're a hater. I think that you're just, you know, a critic. And she basically just wants you to fuck off, and that's pretty much what she's saying in the song. Because now she's, you know, she's here, she's proved how great she was, and she wants, and like you want her, like you know, if you're paparazzi, you want to get her picture now, like, or maybe as before, you'd just be like, oh, who's this blonde, like, whatever, and like just kind of like dismiss her or not take her seriously, or be like, oh yeah, she's kind of like gonna come and go, and that'll be that. Where she's proven that she keeps coming back, she keeps, you know, making the hits. And I think that she's, you know, she probably has like a very small, tight circle of friends, and probably because she, you know, sadly realized that, you know, maybe she couldn't trust everybody that, you know, was involved in her kind of come up. So I give this a 4.4 on 5. I thought it was a good song, and she is an independent woman who don't need nobody.
I just want to say, okay?
Yeah.
Hating is when you cannot back up or at least have some type of credible opinion on what you're reviewing.
Right.
I keep it 100 all the time.
That's true. That's true. So this one features, this is 100, featuring Watch the Duck, who I've personally never heard of before. Have you? No? I mean, let us know if you guys have ever listened to him, them. I'm not really sure if it's a group or one person.
He's an Atlanta-based dubstep trap group from a
braggadocio track about being honest in a relationship and demanding respect from a partner. That's what that said on Genius. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, this one definitely starts off sounding a bit more Spanish. I don't know. It's something about like the guitars or like the acoustic guitar like made me think of like that feeling.
That was nice. I'll give it that. Like,
yeah.
The guitar intro was really nice.
Yeah.
I did like how, and I'm being very technical, I'm sorry.
I
do like because it's like the guitar goes in and it's like a couple strings, and then you have that edited effect where it's like a DJ skip where like the guy's like.
But I guess it's like the dubstep, like. Yeah,
exactly. It's the dubstep skip, but like it's really done very well, because if you listen to it properly, the first 3 chords that are played sets up the tempo of the rest of the song, which also every time the skip starts to happen, it's on the last chord. So it's like do skip, do skip, but he does it in a way that it overlaps, and it's just really nice. Like, I really enjoyed the production on this.
I think he probably kept it like 100, I would say. Yeah.
I'm gonna die with these puns. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, let's kind of get into it. So Iggy kind of comes in, like, I mean, whatever, Watch the Duck kind of comes in. He does like sort of like the intro part. He keeps it 100. And then like she comes in and she's working 100, like, you know, 100% basically. And like giving it her all of the time. Like she's going to keep working like as hard as she can, because like, you know, she's got her time in the spotlight, so she obviously wants to like keep that. And she's kind of saying like she's true, she's honest, she's direct, and that's her. So like that's how kind of she's keeping it 100. She doesn't have time to like mess around or be like sarcastic or whatever else. Like she's like direct and like this is it, this is what I need, this is what I want, and like that's it. So I think, you know, she also talks about, you know, same sort of stuff essentially. She's got a lot of money. Her and her like crew, when they go out, like they pay cash. Like there's nothing that's like, they don't pay credit or debit or whatever. Like it's all cash because that's what they've got, you know, cream. And if you're with her, you also need to keep it 100. You know, like don't fuck around, otherwise like she'll fuck up your shit. And then she like talks about like smashing like up a car.
Don't try me, man. You know I will throw this brick through your windshield. Knife your nice new Rover wheel. That fireplace, your clothes in there. I know you two in there, not asking what you do in there.
Yeah, don't fuck up.
I'ma send my crew in there. You two gonna be ruined there. No, you're not. No, you're not. The only fucking crew you're sending in is the one you asked T.I. to send up with the shooters. Like, shut the fuck up.
Well, she still sent in a crew.
No, because he's gonna be like, no. Okay, so let's just get this straight right now.
He's be like, who's fucking all around on Iggy?
You know who she's talking about, right?
Yeah.
We don't. Okay. I don't give a fuck about your love relationship with A$AP Rocky. I completely forgot that in like this whole thing has to do with A$AP Rocky was an actual like big ass thing, and I'll get into it near the end and everything. Fine, but now that I remember, no, you're not. T.I. is not letting you go kill A$AP. What do you think is going on?
She's not doing it. Her crew is going to do it.
T.I. is not letting nobody associated with it.
She doesn't have to ask T.I.
Yes,
everything.
she does. Yes, she does. Yes, she clearly does. Next thing you know, she sends the shooters. A$AP's gone, and then the A$AP mob wants to fuck with him.
I don't think Iggy is sending people with guns. She's from Australia. She's like from Canada. It's like we wouldn't necessarily be like, get the guns out. Like, no offense, but I mean, we're not in like certain other places. I mean, maybe go like beat the guy up a little bit. That's okay. Just a little bit.
Have you seen A$AP Mob? Like, have you seen Ferg? Have you seen A12? Like,
I don't know.
They're not beefing.
But
there's no way.
She's while they're in there doing that, she's gonna take her little pen knife and she's gonna stab a little hole in like, you know, his car wheels or tires or whatever, and she's gonna be like, yeah, and then she's gonna quickly throw a brick at the car, and she's gonna run away in her heels.
So okay, so here's my thing, right? Like, I understand the song in regards to how like it makes sense. Okay, so Watch the Duck comes in. You ain't the type of lady that's known to fuck around, so you don't fuck with her.
Yep.
Keep your mind on your money. You ain't looking to settle down. Okay, cool. She's like 100 about the thing. Oh, by the way, when she says 100, I literally just go, I don't know if y'all can see it.
They probably can't.
Yeah, you can. I can see it. You can see it. 100.
Okay.
100. It's the red 100. That's what I see. That's what I see when I hear this. So with that, I think that's cool. That it's like a thing. She's keeping it 100. She's keeping it super down, and she's she's really about what she wants. So I respect her for that. I think Watch the Duck is kind of here as like a validation in a sense. Like,
yeah, I mean, I thought he was all right. Like,
right. I don't really know who he is, but I feel like he's just there to kind of validate that Iggy is 100. Like, there's no other really reason why, because she already gave us 2 tracks about how she's a bad bitch and she's a boss, which, yes, I'm going to say this, the whole album is basically how she's a bad bitch and a boss.
Well, she is, yeah.
Moving on. But, so, I think it's more like, hey, I felt like, hey, I kind of need somebody to validate or have a song that someone else validates me as, like, a bad bitch.
But the thing is that, I mean, again, personally speaking, who is Watch the Duck? Like, why are we depending on him for validation? Like, it's not necessarily. Like, I assume that he's signed to like their label or something, and I think they just kind of threw him on.
But I'm not saying him as in like him status. I'm saying like, this sounds so disgusting, but it's like this guy is validating me. Like, when you listen to the song, and she's
T.I.
like,
doing that.
well, like, no, what I'm saying is okay, so take the song as a single, right?
Right.
Take the song as a single and just listen to it. It's like, I'm the bad bitch, and this is the dude who is vouching for me because he might be in love with me, he might be infatuated, he might be interested. Like, it's just that type of, the way
I mean, like, he might be like, I mean, again, like, he's involved in whatever, like, dubstep braggadocious or whatever thing it is.
Right.
So maybe like in like that musical realm, like maybe he's like the best. I don't know if it's a group,
right.
Same thing, but so maybe, I mean, it could be, you know, if this guy's giving you like validation, sure. I mean, you know, take it where you can. Yeah, I mean, she's basically just, you know, basically saying she's the best, whatever. I give this a 4.35. What do you think?
I like when she said in verse 1, paid $1 million for that drop 6, and he got the Glock in my cockpit. Them other chicks he got caught with, I'm the bitch he gonna rock with. I like that type of like just flow. I like the way she spit that. I like how when she does spit those lines, she's kind of thugging with it a little bit. So I do give her that. I like how she's also a little bit humble. Like, I know, and again, this is going to be one of these, like, reviews where Chris kind of just goes back and forth on what he says, because it's like, I'm not trying to shit on her, but at the same time, I'm also like, no, I don't agree with a lot of the shit you're saying. But I like how she goes, she's kind of alluding to that she ain't. I mean, okay, she said she'd throw a brick at somebody and whatnot. Okay, fine, you're crazy. I've had that happen with like girlfriends I've dated. They've like lost their shit. Fine, whatever. But to be real, she's like, I'm not the one with the gun. He's got the Glock in the cockpit. He's the one. Like, I'm surrounded by these guys. So I like that type of like honesty that she's kind of bringing to the table and not being total like, I'll rock your shit if you fuck up, right?
Right.
So that was cool. And we get the chorus again, kind of reinforcing that she's 100, 100. Then we go into verse 2, bankrollers, us, we got it, you know how we ride, no credit, no debit, no thanks, my click, pay cash, everything we buy. That's not true. Stop lying, it's not true. You're probably using credit cards and a bunch of shit to finance it and whatnot and at least half your shit. That's not true. See me walking by with my nose in the sky, make you be like, damn bitch, can't say hi. Then I hop in the drop and wave goodbye as I drive through the tunnel looking like Lady Di. All right, so I mean, like,
that's a pretty crazy line, I thought.
Can you really like compare yourself to Princess Diana?
I mean, it's a pretty bold move, especially obviously when she's talking about when Diana died. So I mean, that's a pretty bold statement.
It's a bold statement, doesn't mean it's right.
Yes.
Like, I think that's part of my issue. It's like you're saying a lot of bold shit for your first album. Like, you're not coming out here trying to portray, like, people in society. You're not really coming out here trying to, like, change some shit. You're really just coming out here being like, bitch, I'm better than all of you. And it's like, you know. And I think, and again, I'm not trying to, like, do the whole Nicki Iggy thing, but, like, at the time, even Nicki, when she was coming out with her Pink Friday and her the other song with like Memories and Drake and stuff, I still felt like she actually had some shit to say. She actually touched upon some sort of like empowerment. She touched upon some sort of this. This is literally just, I'm rich and pretty. It's like,
I mean, she does what she's good at.
It's like the hip hop version of I'm a Barbie girl. That must have been a little rude. I'm sorry. In any case, I gave the song a 4.3 because it's hype. Like, not gonna lie, it's actually a really hype song overall. She does great. She flows nice. She sounds good. Cool. Watch the Duck sounds really nice. I really enjoyed his voice. Mm-hmm. Really nice contrast between the both. Their voices mesh together. The production of the music is really good. That's something you have to keep in mind. I like the production on every single one of these songs. She got lucky with all of the fucking beats that she got to use and all this stuff. So that was absolutely cool. I left it with a 4.3 on 5. And she ain't changing my life.
This one is hype. So this is Change Your Life with T.I. I feel like that, like right there, we kind of know what's happening. Again, this is the beginning. This is the life. And basically this is the promise that T.I. basically said to her, that he was going to change her life. And I think he held up to that. This was obviously like a serious plan. And she's basically been, working towards this goal and finally found somebody who would teach her, kind of motivate her and kind of be show her the path and everything. And so, he's going to show her how to do that and how to get successful and just be like a good mentor to her in terms of like the rap game and like how to actually make like proper moves and all of that. And it makes sense that he's on this one because, he's like, listen, I'm going to be featured on your album because I'm T.I. and I'm the one that made you. And, this is, again, he's basically saying this. Introduces her to important people, makes moves, etc. And this is basically how T.I. changed her life. And it makes sense. I was watching the music video to this one, and there was a lot of I don't know. She's basically naked in every scene in different ways, in different outfits. She's basically naked. But this is like pre a lot of like her like big
Upgrades.
Surgeries. Yeah, like, you know, all of that.
Before Cyberpunk 2020.
Like she has like basically no boobs.
Yeah.
You know, which is fine. Lots of women don't. You know, smaller hips, smaller butt. You know, and I feel like there's something in the face. I want to say her nose. I feel like she might have had like another nose job. I don't know if that was her first nose or how many nose jobs she's had. I mean, but she definitely looks a little bit different in this music video and in like, you know, the other ones that are kind of around the same time. Which is fine. I mean, that's how she was. She's an evolving lady. So I mean, she's basically saying like she's willing to, you know, or in the music video at least, that she's willing to use like sex as a tool, and like that kind of works for her, and that's kind of what has made her famous.
November 29th, 2016, apparently to peoples.com. Don't know how trustworthy this is, but Iggy Azalea's plastic surgeon reveals exactly how he transformed the singer's nose and breasts. And so it's been like 3 years now since she's got upgrades, according to this.
Okay. Like, I don't know if she had some at this point, like in like the beginning. Like she has like a little bit of like hips and butt. Like, I don't know if she just worked her ass off and just did squats for days, or if there's a little bit of something there. But anyways, yeah. And like, I like the outro, and it said like, once you go great, you never go good. I'm gonna change your life. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change your life. I'm gonna show you my way. I got that good. I'm gonna change your life. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change your life. So, I like it. It's sort of about her come up, especially, you know, her getting involved with T.I. and like him basically saying like I'm gonna change your life, and like this was obviously like a huge, big, important moment and like important connection for her to have with T.I. And I think that, you know, whether or not that there's still issues today, that's a whole separate thing. But I think that, you know, at this point she was basically saying like, you know, I don't think she actually says it in this song, but, you know, thank you. You know, like, you changed my life. And I think that that's, you know, pretty incredible. So I give this a 4.5 on 5 because the beat is super sick. I liked it. And I like the overall feeling of it. Let's hear how much you hated it.
Okay. So, to kind of just trail off from the beat comment you made, of course, the beat is the most stellar beat on the entire album. I'm saying it right now because T.I.'s on it.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. The minute I saw it, like, I didn't realize it until now when the song Change Your Life first came out. It was like, oh, yeah, T.I. put her on, so blah, blah, blah. This is supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, no, this is track 4 of the album, and I'm like, this is the best beat so far that I've heard. Like, just the polishness of it, the crystal clear of it, the way it's performed, the anthem feel to it, and I know that I've said that on like many shows, but no, this literally, like, this is a T.I. song featuring Iggy. It's not the other way around. That's what it really is. Except instead of doing like the Eminem thing where he gets on his like artist tracks and fucking kills it, T.I. gave Iggy the whole star of the thing. So that's my thing. Because T.I.'s there, this is like stupid validation for it. And of course the beat is like stupidly stellar. So cool, nice, great. Now I had to actually think about how this is like saying thank you to T.I. and like kind of interpreting it as T.I. is like, she was like, oh, you're gonna change my life, blah 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 blah. I kind of felt like this was another generic song, like, I'm rich, he helped me get rich, we are gonna change your peasant life. Like telling the listener, right? Okay. So again,
and she did. Thank you.
Right. Well, I'm glad one of us got their lives changed. I feel the same.
All right.
But like I there was nothing that she said in her verse that really kind of stuck out to me. It was like, used to deal with basic bitches, basic shit all the time. I'm the new classic. Upgrade your status from a standby to a frequent flyer. Like, okay, yeah, you're boss bitch. Cool, great. You kept consistent. You did it. But it's like, my problem is, you're not changing my life. The people, T.I., that you're connected to is gonna change my life through you. Is what I'm saying. Again, who were you before this happened? Is where, like, again, this is a lot of I'm queen shit, but you're really not. You're just validated by a bunch of people. Yeah, you're gorgeous. I'm gonna say that. Beautiful woman, but there's still nothing here. Joint venture will partner up until the shares are up and I up your wages. On a private island dolo where one meal cost a car note. First off, how are you partnering up with somebody and then on an island solo? That's what dolo means. You're not fucking, it's solo.
Right.
So I don't know how that contradicts. Okay, so your meal, you're paying the price of a car for your meal. That's just cost efficient. That's not cost efficient at all. Why are you spending $3,000 on a meal?
Because she can.
I mean, no, the label that supports her and the card and the money she gets through the people that support her can, which is my problem. If you were a drug dealer from the streets that came up whipping cocaine and all this shit and busting caps, your $3,000 meal, it's like, you know what? I assume the label's paying for it, but I also believe you could actually do that because you out here flipping bricks of coke. Where do you come from?
Australia.
You came from chilling with kangaroos to now making money. Like, what? I'm not trying to be, like, offensive in any fucking way. I'm just flabbergasted at the idea that, like, you can have this much balls and come out and, like, not have real credibility behind it. In my opinion. She can rap, like I said. She is connected. And, of course, T.I. comes in and does the T.I. thing. The one thing I like about T.I. was when he goes, if you could listen more than you speak, I get you everything that you need. I'm talking about red bottom LV, even extension plus your weave. I'm blowing strong weed when we ride. Okay, the reason why I like that though is because he's literally telling him, shut up and watch me boss up your life. Like, that's literally
And,
it.
like, there's a lot of attention on these fucking Louboutin shoes. Like, they're mentioned in a lot of songs, and it's like, I mean, I get it, because they're, like, very expensive shoes. And, like, you know, it's, like, one of those things you're like, like, if you can actually afford to, like, buy them. But
I think it's more the idea
those red
of
bottoms.
I think it's the idea of it, because it's like, for example, for me, I don't know why polo is a thing, like Ralph Lauren polo, but polo has been part of hip-hop for years, like decades. It was like a thing. People used to meet up in the streets and like have polo like validations, like, yo, your boxer's polo, your socks are polo, like you had to be in a full suit. Like I was watching this like hip-hop documentary, legit. Like legit, no, it's a legit thing.
Okay.
It's like certain brands become established.
Fubu?
I don't know what FUBU is.
That's if you guys remember FUBU from like the 90s, write in the comments.
Yeah, certain like brands become so established in hip hop that it's just you need to have these things. Like I don't understand why having a Beamer or a Bentley is a fucking thing for rappers.
Maserati or
right.
whatever. I never even heard of this car until like 5 years ago when I heard it in a song.
Maserati literally like 6 blocks down from where I live.
Well, there you go.
I mean, it's all busted up and crashed, and it's at the garage, but it's like 6 blocks down. It's right there. I can touch it. Like,
I guess.
I can be like, eh. But I feel like it's just the idea of like, this is what it is. Like, when you have this much money, and I feel like it's also because and now we call it clout chasing, right? It's like, you want to see me in the Maserati.
Right.
You don't want to see me in the Honda Civic anymore. I make X amount of money. I've dropped
You kind
X
of expect that of
right,
like, celebrities,
right.
you know.
Not from her.
Right.
Just to full circle it, not from her. Because I don't know what you did to get here. I don't know. All I know is suddenly you're with T.I. and now you're famous. That says one thing to me. Anyway.
I mean, that one thing may be true.
Listen.
I mean, the girl's got to do what a girl's got to do to get to the top.
I mean, look, I don't knock it, but like, don't suck dick for a position and then tell everybody you're the best.
Why? She must be the best if she got like signed by T.I. She must be
5 years.
pretty good.
5 years later, they're now arguing about legal rights and label record deals and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and he's calling her bunch of things and
blah blah blah.
Yeah, I'm not quoting. I'm not trying to quote. Fuck all. But they are arguing right now. Like Iggy just went out and was like, "Fuck this." So don't suck dick and then claim to be the best. That's like the biggest handout. But the song got a 4.2. It's good. It's really good. T.I. is great, and I like... Oh, here's the other thing, too. Why does she sound like T.I.? Like, just every time she raps, I'm just like, that's something T.I. would flow like. Well, that's what T.I. would write. Okay.
Well, I mean, like...
My point
He changed her life.
But no, he didn't. He basically created her. Anyway, whatever.
I mean, she has been wanting to do this, I mean, since she was at least 16. I mean, she hustled hard. We all know that. To end up where she wanted to. Nuh-uh. She was scrubbing floors. Anyways, let's talk about Fancy.
I really like this song.
Yeah.
I really like Fancy.
Who doesn't?
I've always liked Fancy. Not for Iggy. It's for Charli. I really like Charli's part.
Right.
I really think that Charli has a nice voice. Charli XCX, by the way. When she does the bridge, trash the hotel, that's get drunk on the minibar, make the phone call, feel so good, getting what I want. Yeah, but the way she does it is just like so nice, so simple, so smooth. Iggy kills it. Don't get me wrong. Like,
yeah.
Iggy kills the verse. First things first, I'm the realest. Drop this and let the whole world feel it. I'm still in the murder business.
I can hold you down like I'm giving lessons in physics.
Right. You should want a bad bitch like this. Drop it low and pick it up just like this. Cup of ace, cup of goose, cup of Chris. Hi. That was funny. I laughed when she said that.
Crystal.
Nah, it's Chris Chrome. High heels. Yeah, she wants a cup of me, fam. High heels,
okay.
Something worth half a ticket on my wrist. Like, so here's my thing. Everybody's heard this song. Everybody knows what this is. It's a good song. It's a 4.5 on 5. I don't have to say much about it. We know what the fucking song's about. It's called Fancy. What I do want to say is she should have led the album with this. Straight up.
You don't start with your biggest hit, like
But
song 1.
But, so here's my thing.
This is song 5. I mean, it's hardly like it's a long way into the album.
So you could have started with Fancy, or you could have started with Change Your Life. And here's the reason. Right? Walk the Line is a generic...
But you need an intro.
Hold on.
Okay.
Walk the Line is a generic song about, I was poor, now I'm here. Change Your Life at least kind of validates what happened. You met T.I.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, at least it's like, my life was changed. He said he'd help me. This is where we're at now.
Yeah.
This is why I made my album. I am now popping.
She's now fancy.
Right. She's now fancy.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Two, I think she could have started off with Fancy, because Fancy is literally her icon. Like, it's her. It is her whole image. When you listen to Fancy, and even with Charli XCX, you get this picture of this bad bitch in really expensive clothing, trashing a hotel with her rock star friend, really kind of not giving a fuck, and running the world.
Yeah.
If that's how you wanted to portray yourself, why didn't you put this at the beginning? Because I didn't get that from Walk the Line.
I'm still kind of gonna argue with you on that one, because I mean, this is still technically closer to the beginning of the album, and I don't think that this would be like the first song. Like, you wouldn't come on being like, I'm so fancy. Like, you have to like understand, like she's setting it up. She's like, I worked really hard to get here. Thank you to T.I. Like, fuck this ex-boyfriend of mine, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is where I'm at now. And, this is kind of like her, like, leading up into Fancy, I think.
I could argue that with, like, a bunch of other classic albums that start off with everybody going, I'm the best motherfucker on the planet, and explains why in detail.
But she still says that she's the best. She's living 100.
Not in, like, yeah, that's a different track. I'm saying literally the first intro song is, like...
Nah.
Because here's
she
the
has
thing,
to set it. She has to set it up. Does she like?
The setup should already be done in the intro.
This is her debut album.
That's my point.
We have to know where she came. We have to know where she came from in order to get Fancy.
If she put on Fancy, or if she, because you know what, if she started off the album with "I'ma Change Your Life," and then gave me a whole album of just bad bitch boss shit. Maybe you done changed my life. Maybe you accomplished what the intro of the song was. The album was. But now, you're here like, I walked the line. I did my struggle. No, you didn't. You went to Miami at 16. You found some dude. You sucked his dick. He gave you a fucking spot.
I mean...
Like, there wasn't any... It doesn't sound like trials and tribulations. It sounds more like just, I have my struggle. What's your struggle?
She
What
was
did you
all
do?
alone. She was 16 in the middle of Miami.
We're all alone at 16 in the middle of Miami at one point, okay?
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
She's all alone in a country
Spring
that she doesn't
break,
know
for fuck's
anybody. And so, like,
Okay,
she
so
had to,
she
like,
went on spring break. She went on spring break and just never went home.
Go on spring break.
She went on
She
spring
lives in Australia. She doesn't need
16
to
in
go.
the middle of Miami. She's on spring break and then she just never went home. That's it. That's how it happened.
No,
I think
no.
she should have started with Fancy. I gave it a 4.5 on 5. I really think it's a really great song. It is a fucking banger. It does hit. It does slap. Just go listen to it. I don't have to explain it. I don't have to break it down. You know what it is. Like,
Yeah.
not trying to be dismissive about it, but really, it's just GGY. There. That's it.
See?
That's all you need. GGY.
And now you know her name.
Like, listen.
Like, this is like Iggy's like most popular song. Like, I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure this is his most popular song. And I looked it up, and yeah, it is. And I mean, it's a fun song, and it's all about her basically being bougie, and like it's a sick and like catchy beat. It's like super fun to listen to. Like the first note, like you know what song it is. Like the do. Like you know it. Like you know what song is coming on. Plus, like, the music video was perfect.
Isn't she reenacting a movie?
She's basically sort of playing Clueless, which is like epic. It's the 90s. 90s is very popular.
Isn't that the movie with like where she gets the note and it's the September something, the May something, or you told me you love me? I know the movie. I feel like I'm having a nostalgic moment. I'm sorry.
I don't think you do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's the one where she like does the poem for the boyfriend. Or like,
I feel like you're thinking of like a Hilary Duff movie or something.
Nah. There is that Hilary Duff movie. There's the other movie where the girl like fucking stands up in class, says a poem, and the whole like speech, poem, whatever thing is
Well, there's
about...
a debate. There's a debate at one point, which they kind of like touch on, or like they kind of like play those characters in this music video. There's a debate.
The movie.
There's no poem.
I'm talking about the actual movie where like.
Yes, I very much know the actual movie. I've seen it many times.
No, you haven't.
I've seen it 100
No, you
times.
haven't. She's never seen the movie.
I've seen it so very many times. Alicia Silverstone. Who do you need to know?
Exactly. She's at the podium and she does the whole poem thing, and then the boyfriend there looks like some grease ball. The boyfriend.
Paul Rudd.
Sure.
Paul Rudd.
You look at that. Look at her face.
Paul Rudd.
Look how mad she is right now.
There's like the gay guy that she thinks is like hot for a bit. Turns out he's gay.
The guy who looks like the dude from the Breakfast Club, like the
I think you need to check your facts.
Listen.
Anyways, I'm gonna keep going. Yeah. So, anyways, it was a great movie. It's an excellent music video to kind of play up on because everybody knows Clueless except for Chris, or everybody who like, I don't know. I mean, it was very popular. So she is serious about her flow, about her swagger, like everything. Like it's pretty great.
No, it's not this movie. This is a dumb movie.
Thank you. Duh. And spending, she's spending and doesn't give a fuck. She's just partying and having fun. I mean, like at this point, she's what, like 19, 20, 21? Like she's like, maybe she's not 19. She's like a little bit older, but like, I mean, she's doing what I did when I was her age, like partying and having fun and, you know, pretending like you're living it up, except she actually is. So she's working hard and she deserves her recognition.
She was 25.
Okay. Yeah. And,
well, no, she was 24.
Okay.
Because she's 29 now, and then, 5 years ago, she would have been 24.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, she's just kind of here, and she's saying that she deserves her recognition, and with that comes a lot of money, and, you know, she's going to live her life lavishly because of all this money, and she won't ever let it stop. And she never turns down like a good offer if, you know, if there's a lot of money involved, and like she's willing to work as hard as she can to stay on top, and she wants people to remember her, and she's going to do what she can to be remembered. Like she's making like a legacy. And that's kind of, I think, what like kind of reflects back on the like the new classic is that it is like making her legacy. Like she's here to last, and she's gonna keep on doing what she does. So anyways, I think that this is a new classic. Just like the title says, I give this a 5/5. It is a great song.
She just seems to be the new bitch on the block.
Yeah, right.
So I'm really happy for Iggy that she has now started her relationship with A$AP Rocky. Good job. I'm glad you're his new bitch. Either than the whole like personal side behind the song, it's not a bad track actually. I like how she's taking the idea of being the new girlfriend and really putting like a positive spin on it. Now, here's the thing. I know it sounds really weird to say that because I think that when you're like, I know as being a new boyfriend in a relationship, you're like the happiest dude. Oh my God, somebody likes me. That's great. Mm-hmm. So I assume that for women, it's the same thing. You're like, oh my God, I'm his girlfriend. It's really cute, blah, blah, blah. But I think like I know a lot of women who end up getting into relationships and they really like the person, but they're kind of like, they're not genuinely happy. Like, it's not like, yeah, I'm his new girl, but I don't feel like that new girl thing.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like, I've had a conversation and it kind of popped in my head with this idea of like being the new girlfriend isn't really something to be proud about. It's like being the girlfriend who's been there for years is something to be proud about because like you really held them down. But being the new girl isn't something to be like proud because you're just like, what, he just left Shorty 3 months ago? Right. You know, like, and now you're the new chick, right? You're the new bitch in a sense. But like, I feel like for my own personal experience, right, the new girl that I've been dating for the last, like, call it, month and a half now, she really kind of just came in and was like, yo, like, I don't care if you're his friends or not, like, y'all need to leave. I'm trying to spend, like, 3 hours with my boyfriend alone. And that type of, like, attitude, like, yo, I know I've only been here I've only been in your guys' life for a month, but it's like, I like him, I want to be with him, and I'm going to voice what I want. Right? And I just, for me, I like that. I like that type of woman who's like, yo, I'm here now.
Establishing herself.
Right. I run shit. Yeah. Like, I'm here. I run shit. He's giving me that authority. Let's try to get this on the ball and it's work. So I really do like that aspect that she's kind of coming from, where she's like, nah, I'm the new bitch. I'm the one getting all this stuff. I'm the one who's getting all the new diamonds. I'm the one doing this. And that's what I thought was just really, really cool. Mm-hmm. Just something to quote, he got a house that's too big, sits on a hill in the valley, said he trying to move on with life, but he still want to be a good daddy, so I sit in the ride because I don't want us overlapping, spending money on the Mac, that's cute, I get checks into Paris, better check my tax bracket, what do you think was going to happen? Like, it's the same type of lyrics we've been getting so far. It follows suit with, like, I'm a bad bitch or whatnot. But I like the angle that she's coming from in the response of, like, not only am I a bad bitch, but he chose me. And I think that's the part that I really enjoy is, like, we get a lot of these, like, love songs that it's like, please take me, be with me, I love you, whatever. Right. But not, like, in a positive or, like, this powerful move where it's like, nah, I'm grateful in a way that he chose me. Like, I know I'm king shit, but, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, she's prideful, but she's also really humble with it, where it's like, yeah, I'm the new bitch, I'm queen shit, but I wouldn't be here if he didn't pick me. Right. In a way. Right? Kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
Doesn't make it sound
yeah. And, like, she's also, making, she's establishing herself and, like, all of that. Like, she knows what she is. But I think it also, like, I know the story is obviously, like, about, like, a relationship, but I think it's also in terms of, like, the music. Like, she's like, oh, like who's that singer? She's like this new bitch or whatever. Like, I think anyways, my opinion.
I do see the, I'll be honest, I do see the double entendre in a sense, like, in terms of the music, coming in the rap game and all this stuff. Like, you are the new hottest chick on the block. Like, you're coming out here doing your stuff. So I do get that. But I don't think it's actually about, like, her music.
It's about her relationship.
Pre-chorus, because the whole world is watching and the paparazzi is flocking because we fly shit when we drop in and we shut down your party. His and her gold chains. Yeah. Like, gold watches everything. His old girls, she gon' hate. They gon' have something to say. It's like,
when, you know, she shows up and is spending his money and blah, 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 because she's his new bitch.
Right. I do like the interlude though. She be the one that be like, "Hey girl, what's up? You in town?" "Yes, I'm in town." Kissing on, blocks out the face, on the face, and you know this, so just say it. The interlude kind of had this like really, it was real.
Yep.
Like it was like a legitimate conversation between her and her friend. It gave that aspect of like
Kind of like,
I like him.
yeah.
Like, yo, I'm with so and so.
Like, of course I'm going to be there. Like, you know, like, he's there. Of course I'm going to be there.
Right,
Like,
it's
I'm
that-
his new bitch. Like, you need to understand that. Like,
Right.
she is going to be there.
Right, that like validation, like, and I think and again I say that as being in like a currently a new relationship, that idea of like, somewhere in December I have an event to go to, so I might not be there on Headspace or whatever. Sorry guys, but the point is. I looked at my girl and I was like, yo, this is something that needs to be done. And she's like, well, hi, hello, I'm showing up. Like, there is no question.
Yeah.
And it's that type of, like, I guess, trust, confidence, and that, like, ride or die.
Partnership.
Right. That
Yeah.
partner, ride or die mentality where it's like, okay, if you're going, I'm going. There's no question. Like,
Yeah.
let me just dress up and we go, right?
Yeah.
So that was really cool. It's something I really enjoyed this song. Verse 2 kind of follows suit. It was always jealous broads wishing they was in my shoes. Oh, okay. But I'm a debut, you a deja vu. No, you're a deja vu.
Well,
So
I mean, this is her debut album.
I get like the pun and the shit, but she's no different than.
She's basically saying, like, you're a has-been. Like, I'm, like, the new bitch, right?
Well, no, she's basically saying that every girl besides her is just like everyone else. Guys will go up to them and be like, oh, you're just like my ex, you're just like my ex. And she's like, nah, I'm not. I'm nothing like them. Just with that attitude, you pretty much are, because they all say that. So, merp. Anyway, we kind of go through. So stop popping up unexpected. Stop sending threats and text messages. We too grown for this messy shit. Like, okay, I like how she's addressing the ex-girlfriend, but it's like, if you were too grown for this messy shit, you wouldn't be putting it into the lyrics or acknowledging it. You would just be keeping it locked down on some personal shit. Like, yo, tell her to back the fuck off, or you handle it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, for me that's contradicting. Like, you want to keep it out of people's business, but you're now making songs about it and, you know, whatever. But granted, if this is where, like, if they're not together, I guess it's like in the past, right?
Yeah.
So, whatever. I gave the song a 4 out of 5. I thought it was cool.
All right. I mean, I thought this one had a pretty nice beat. I wanted to mention that right away. And this one tells more of like a story, like there's more of a storyline sort of to it, about this, you know, rich guy, and he's kind of has like a really big house and lives on his own, and, you know, he's trying to be like a good person and take care of his baby mama and the baby and all of that. And yet, like, the whole world is watching, you know, and the paparazzi and everything like that, because, you know, he's well known, she's well known, and, you know, so, you know, and they're living large and they have a lot of money, and her and this guy are cute and they're in love, and, you know, basically saying like, oh, our exes are going to be so jealous, like, you know, look at us now, living large, doing what we want, you know, and people are going to have a lot of shit to say when she shows up looking sick, spending mad money, and she's basically bragging about, you know, it's her and her man, and, you know, this is what they're going to do, and, you know, he's, you know, she's her new bitch, she's his new bitch, and girls are always going to be bitchy, you know, that's just what we do. And the more I listened to this one, the more I liked it. I wasn't sure if it was the beat or if it was just like the way that she said things or the way that it flowed. And I think that her accent and the way that she says things makes her unique and kind of fun, and like the way that she, you know, spits her rhymes. And she tells everybody that she's with this guy and how she gets, you know, what she wants from him. But, like, she's not necessarily using him. But, you know, in, like, that sense, it's like they seem like they're together and they have, like, a lot of, like, you know, nice new things. And, like, that's just kind of, like, their life they're living. And they both seem to be in like, that same sort of, like, holier than thou sort of like attitude, like where they're both like, you know, think that they're hot shit, and so they're a hot shit couple together. So I like the attitude and like sort of like braggadociousness of this one. So I got this a 4.7 on 5.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, we're almost there, so let's just keep putting in the work.
Let's do it. All right. So I fucking love this song. Like, this is just like another song that I listen to like all the time. Like, I very much have been enjoying this for many years, or I guess 5 years. And so this is basically her song telling us what she had to do to end up where she is. And that she was like determined as fuck to get on top. So it starts off like, walk a mile in these Louboutins, but they don't wear this shit where I'm from. I'm not hating, I'm just telling you. I'm trying to let you know what the fuck that I've been through. So again, she's, you know, she has expensive shoes. And, you know, people don't have this kind of stuff where she's from. So maybe she was from, like, again, like she talks about being sort of like from like the countryside a little bit. And like, I'm also from the countryside, but in Canada. And, like, if I walked into a place wearing Louboutins, people would be like, they wouldn't give a shit. Like, they don't know what that means, what that is. Like, oh, did you get those at Walmart? Like, they would just be like nothing. And then she talks about like 2 feet in the red dirt, school skirt, Sugar King, back lanes. 3 jobs, took years to save, but I got a ticket on that plane. So Angela talks about the fact that she had to scrub floors. So the red dirt, that's an Australia thing. They've got red dirt there. And a lot of them wear, even not private schools, wear school uniforms, so the school skirt. Especially, you know, she talks about that she was 16 in the middle of Miami. So, I mean, she was quite young when she kind of was hustling and working and determined to get this. This is before she was 16. No, it's not spring break. It's like she was like probably what, like 12, 13, 14, like 15, like when she was like hustling to try to like accomplish this goal. So, I mean, that's like a pretty determined child, if you're going to start there. In 3 years, took years to save, and she flew across like the ocean all by herself at 16 years old. I mean, props to her. Like, you know, not everybody's gonna do that. Not everybody's parents will allow that either. And like or how many floors that I had to scrub just to make it past where I am from. And I think that it's like a good flow, good rhyme. And her mother, I looked into it. Her mother was, I'm sure she's not anymore, was a house cleaner. And like, that's what she did. So obviously, you know, she probably got a job working with her mom, or, you know, went with her mom to go clean houses and whatever else. I mean, that's a pretty honorable like living, you know, like you got to do that, you know, to make it, you know, and it's an easy job where she can just sit there and scrub away at everything. And, you know, it sucks, but she did it. And she, you know, she kind of says that, you know, that's where I started from. And, you know, and like she had to, you know, she came from Australia and she had to get to America alone and figure out her shit pretty fast. And again, like same thing, like even me, like moving from like the countryside into like the big city of Montreal, like by myself, like nobody else like took care of me. You know, it was kind of like, you're on your own, figure it out, bye. And, you know, it is scary, like even just to like, and for her to do that in like a whole new country, like that's, I mean, it's a lot to learn all at once. It's a different culture essentially. So, I mean, she had to do that, figure out, you know, her money, get connections, make moves. I mean, obviously, I assume that there was something, like, why she went to Miami. Like, you know, there was obviously somebody or something there, a promise of something, so.
I mean, it's kind of like, there's a lot of rappers or artists, just in general, who go to, like, Miami, California, Florida.
Yeah.
It's a lot of these places that have the,
Well, she was also very, like, I mean, you see that in her music, it was kind of like a southern-ish style to her. So, I mean, that makes sense.
Right. So it's like you're going to a spot that you know there's like strips and like you go to Miami, isn't like Miami, Florida, right?
Yep.
So go to Florida or however, I don't know if it's like, is it
Miami
Florida?
is a city in Florida,
Thank
which is
you.
the state.
So
Yes.
go to the state of Florida, you can go to Walt Disney World. I've been there.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
it's like if you're
That's
talented.
in Orlando, though.
I mean, still, you can go to Walt Disney World. My point is, you go to Florida, you have access to this.
Right.
You have access to, like, you know, if you go and rap at some fucking show in Florida, maybe you get hooked up, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Right, like it's just you go to spots that you know there is talent and there's stuff that could possibly happen. You're not gonna go to like
Tucson.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know why that just came out, but
I
hey.
mean, maybe there's like talent there and we don't actually know. If you know there's any talent in Tucson, let us know in the comments down below. Oh my Jesus. But no, finna go over the...
Yeah, so that's what she was doing, and basically she's seeing that... She also talks about Valley Girls, and when I think Valley Girls, I think of California. So, like, I feel like, I'm guessing she's talking about, like, she's in California, or she, like, made it to California or something, unless there's somebody else that's called Valley Girls in Florida that I don't know about. Let me know. But anyways, there are these girls that are around her, and they are basically selling sex for, you know, expensive items and to be treated, you know, for these Louboutins and whatever else.
All right. No, it's not around her. It's her.
No, but she's saying
her.
Valley girls giving blowjobs for Louboutins.
She's a Valley girl. She's from the country, as she stated. Country living, country singing, and now I'm here. Valley girls giving head for Louboutin,
But she's talking about these other girls.
Nah,
that are
fam.
doing it.
She literally is trying to pass off the fact that she sucks dick.
But I think what she saw is that other girls were doing this, and so she was like, "Oh shit, that's how they have all these expensive things." So. I'm definitely not saying that she didn't do this.
She's literally admitting that she has done this.
But I think that it was the influence.
I don't hate her for it.
No. I'm not. There's no hate.
Right.
Like, I mean, girl, you do what you got to do to get those shoes.
Right.
But I think that it was the reality for her that all of these other girls were doing this, and she was like, oh, that's a way that I can do this. Like, I'm gonna like blow my fucking way up.
Come here, T.I.
Yeah.
I need a record label.
Yeah, like, I mean, if I were her, I would be doing the exact same thing.
I mean...
Just saying, if I needed to do this, and this was my goal, and, like, this is where I was, and I was by myself, and all these other girls are doing it, I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm like, give me your dick. But
who runs the channel? who runs
I mean, that's his dream. So anyways, this is just like fucking hype. I love it. I love the attitude. This is definitely my jam. And like, she's basically saying she's going to keep on rising and it's going to take work, but she's not stopping anytime soon. Like, she already did all of this other shit for years. She worked so she could get a plane ticket scrubbing floors. So if you think that she's going to stop working anytime soon, like, you've got another thing coming. And it's a, similar message to, what we've kind of heard, that she's gonna, she's very determined, which I think is fair enough, because she really does work as hard as she said she does, I think, and I think that that's fair, and she will continue to. So, you know me, it's a 5 on 5.
As long as it's a 3.5 on 5. I don't like it. I don't like it. I've never actually liked this song, even when it came out. Like, I literally sat there, put it on repeat for like 4 times, tried to find something nice to say, and went scroll. Oh, there's a meme. Scroll. No. Like, I don't know. There's something about this song I don't like. I feel like it's because... So to be clear, it's not the lyrics. I do understand that she's really, like, honest on this song. She's telling us about her struggle, the 16 in Miami thing, being like, doing what you got to do to make the money and try to get forward, and you travel. And it's hard, and it's like, oh, poor me. Cool. But this is a club banger. And I think that's what's throwing me off, is that it's like, if I'm in a club and you throw this on...
I don't think this is a club banger. I think this is like a song...
All I do is work. I can see everybody twerking in the club like that. End of story. Like, just...
I mean,
so get that, like, work. Like,
I mean, I definitely dance to it. Like, but I don't know if I would listen to this in a club. I'm just trying to think.
But it is a club song. Like, you put this on like an MC Mario night on fucking MTL radio station. Like, come on. This drops. Like, my mom's picked me up as a kid listening to this. It's like... Oh, look what's playing on the radio at 11:30 at night. Like,
I mean, it's a fun song. It's definitely fun.
My point is, though, is that I think there's an issue with, like, what she's trying to say and what she's trying to present. Because a lot of this sounds like party music and boss-ass music, but, like, I feel like she does kind of want to show some trials and tribulations and starting to be like, you know, I actually got some real shit to say, but maybe she's not allowed to kind of act like that. Maybe she's not allowed to, because this song, like, dude, like, 2 feet in the red dirt, school skirt, sugar cane back lanes, 3 jobs, took a year to save. Like, this is pretty hard, pretty honest. This isn't like, I'm so party, I'm fucking drunk. This is like, yo, I had to work I was in Australia.
But this isn't necessarily like a club song. I think this is more like a stripper song. Like, I think that this
put this in a club and everybody's jumping to it. Even the way the way she does her chorus, the way she does her pre-chorus, the way she does the intro, everything about it. It's
this is like one of those songs that like a girl can just sing along to. I think. Like, I mean, I do.
But it's not, but it's not what she's saying. And that's where it's conflicting me. Is that I'm singing along to this all like, yeah, work, we're gonna make it, you know, like fucking right, put in my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But what she's really kind of emphasizing, or at least what I feel she's emphasizing is like, nah, dude, I fucking worked my ass off. Like, y'all need to understand how serious I've worked my shit. And I don't get that from this song. I get it from the lyrics. I get it reading it. You came from this type of lifestyle. You came here. I get it.
Yeah.
But the verse is literally, 4 fucking bars? The pre-chorus, it's a club song. It's a radio track. And then her second verse, yes, I get it. It's a lot longer, but every club song, the second verse is longer. You trap them with the fucking intro. You get the short little mini verse. You throw in a pre-chorus.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you actually trying to do? Are you trying to... Right? And she just made an extended version. I don't know. I never actually liked this song. I gave it a 3.5 because, like, she can rap. She's good. It's a hype track. Yes, everything cool. It's just, no. This is, no. 3.5, staying neutral.
I mean, I don't know. I'm still gonna like. I mean, like I'm just looking at all the verses and whatever, and like they're all kind of the same thing. They're all saying like, you know, like I worked my ass off. Like there's been a struggle, blah 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 blah. And like in verse 3, she's like saying like, you know, she didn't have anything. You know, do anything for my mama. I love you. One day I'll pay you back for the sacrifice that you managed to muscle. Like 16, you sent me through customs. So like her mom, like obviously like had to sacrifice to like get her something too. Like it's not just like a quick and easy, like, yeah, I came up, I blew some guys and that was it. Like it's like her mom like also like was like struggling and like was, you know, working to like get her where she wanted to. So I mean, like I think that's like a pretty like, I mean, that's pretty good, right? Like, I mean, like there's something more there, that it wasn't just her, like, you know, like she had that support and, you know, that money and whatever else. And, you know, she acknowledges that, you know, she's going to keep working enough to pay back her mother and, you know, make her successful as well. So I think that it isn't necessarily, I don't know. I don't know where this is like the best song. I don't know if this I don't think it's necessarily like, I get, of course, all of her songs are for butt jiggling. So like, yes, play it in a club, but I think it also needs like some sort of like techno stuff and mixing whatever involved. But
well, yes,
but it's definitely like radio and whatever else.
That's still my point though. Is that
okay? Like it's slow enough. Like I've been up all night trying to get there.
Right.
Like it's like that's like a bit slower, but like there's still like something that you can move to.
The way that I feel like just the way that music is created, it brings alive the lyrics as well.
Yeah.
So like if you want to make something that's like, for me personally, right? I'm not cutting out bubbly music and I'm not cutting out party and all this stuff. Of course, it's
because
all great.
like I mean I think we have to also acknowledge that this is like pop rap.
Which
especially like
agree,
this, like there's like a few some of her songs.
But like still, like your lyrics are not happy. They're not sad and they're not angry, but they're not let's get drunk happy.
Yeah.
That's what I get from this when you throw in the whole work. Now I'm getting all my shit and you're like, I get it, you're bossing, but it's like, give me some actual, let me feel something for once before you start shaking your ass again, is what I'm trying to get at. It's like, let me feel something.
Okay.
And you know, and it's like, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling
and then
what
she
you're
shows
saying,
you her butt.
But then you show me your butt. And now it's just become another fucking butt song. And I'm just there like, you put in, what work did you put in? You fucking twerked? Like, whatever.
Anyways.
I gave this song a 3.5. What did you give it?
5. It's 100%.
100% 5 on 5. Listen, with that, we're just going to wrap it up here for part 1. We've been talking a little bit over an hour and a half now, and yeah, Holden has to edit this, and he might kill us for taking forever. So we're going to cut it here and get ready for part 2. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Honestly, it really means a lot to us. We try our best to keep it entertaining, lively, and just keep y'all interested in coming back for more. Speaking of coming back for more, I do want to touch upon the Patreons a little bit. That's Ismail Gadamsi, Chris Prado, DJ Black Hurricane, Jonathan Barnes, Coney Sparks, and I guess I did them all in order. Cool. They help us get a new camera. Holden's been talking about wanting to switch the backdrop. I've asked you guys on the Headspace podcast yesterday when I recorded it, do you think we should keep this one? Do you think we should change it, get some posters? What do you think we should do for the room to make it a little bit more inviting for you guys? If you have any comments, please hit us down in the comments section below.
I think it's almost time to get rid of the squash.
Yeah, I think the squash needs to go.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have like a little board meeting after this. But with that being said, if you guys want to be part of what we do and be part of the community, you can definitely follow us on Patreon. Hit us up on all of our social medias, Twitter, Facebook. You can contact us through YouTube. We'll hit up the comments. And we've also got an Instagram. You can just comment on the photos and we'll like interact whoever sees it or whatnot. But definitely sign up with Patreon with the rest of the Patreons that we have. And you can also force our hands into certain albums that you might want us to review, take a look at or whatnot. Also, it's not just albums. We do shows. We've had other shows in the past that we've done where it's like TV shows and movies like that, right? We've also got a lyrical breakdown at one point that you were doing. So if you ever have any requests or whatnot, we'll be more than happy to help out.
Yep. Books. We'll even take some books if you have any. You know, we do like reading over here.
Nice. That's actually a new one I haven't heard for. But other than that, honestly, thank you so much greatly for everything you guys do for us, for coming back time and time again and helping us go on with this journey. We really do enjoy the comments. We really hope that, you know what, subscribe, don't subscribe, ring the bell, don't ring the bell,
like,
post, don't like, but you know what? At least leave a comment. Honestly, I think what
Just
I've come to learn. Yeah. Hey, and no, give us like a hey and if you like us or not, or tell us like how we can improve. Honestly, we know we post a lot of shit. We know that like we're just consistently trying to get out and do what we can do, but we really enjoy the comment section and communicating with you guys. You guys teach us about Iggy.
Yep.
You guys teach us about all the projects we've read and not read, but like been introduced to and all this stuff. And honestly, it really is what we're looking for, is to just invite you guys to come with us.
Yep.
That being said, it's now about an hour 40. Let's go and start this second part. Peace.
Bye, guys.